Hello, everybody. So, first things first, please tell me that the audio is working. I literally spent the last hour with the settings playing around, and it was crazy. Like, for me, like, absolutely no results. And I'm like, damn, like, come on, I have to fix this. I've done it so many times, and it's been so long. So, I hope that you can all hear me. Please give me a confirmation, because it's gonna, like, not piss me off, but, like, damn, I have to fix it. So, yeah, we'll see, but what was it, like half year at least since I haven't streamed or been live like that? So it's been a while. Audio is third. Well, damn, man. Let's see, working. Okay. Let's see if you all can hear me better. Ah, I have like lots of topics to talk about, and I've been like pretty much like hyping myself up, looking into what people want to talk about and everything else. And the last hour is like, like went sideways. So yeah, the audio, it's pretty low. Some say it's low, some say it's good. So again, like a little bit messing around. Only on your left ear. Well, damn, man. So it's so funny because like I've been, let's say, recording with Zoom, OBS, and everything else, and it does work, but now it's like not not working on this one. How about now? Oh shit, I can hear myself better not. Oh damn. If it just works on one ear, we're gonna have to go with this, but it requires restart. Damn. Slight echo for a moment there, huh? Yeah, we'll see. Oh boy. What about now? Is there any echo or no? Like, always something. Echoey. Some say it's fine. Some can only hear a little bit. Split second was balanced. Let's try that again. The only downside like was I could hear myself. That would drive me nuts. Oh shit. Okay, how about now? But it is echoey. Echoey, low. Oh, that's good. Okay, gone. Now much better. Okay, goodbye to the headphones, because I don't want to be listening to my own voice, because it's like this, and then there's this, it's double. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go with this. No audio for me, but if it sounds good, I'll just go with that. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, well, this works. Let's go with that. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Alright. Whew. Low but good, higher vibes, and everything else. Let's check it. Can't believe like I forgot how to stream. Like literally, coming live those 2 minutes while my start music is playing around and everything else. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And my body feels that in between excitement and fear. And I'm like, oh god, I have to deal with it. Tell myself it's okay, it's just excitement. And my body's like, oh fuck no. So, oh boy. Hey, Eric from Deciphering My Experience. I'm so glad you're here. And you made an improvement, huh? I'll have to check out your videos. I've been like all over the place, mainly working on sessions, working on myself, and then there's family. I spend a lot of time, connecting with family, just spending time I can. There's also side businesses. I've told everyone that I'm like trying to not charge for the sessions. So there was like other things I was gonna do in life, and I've like launched my own electronic store. It's taking off, like, so I'm like taking on more in my passion and other things I'm doing. So it's all over the place. There's like translations on the side time. It takes a lot. Like what I've been carrying my website for about a year, solo, so to speak. So a few hours a day on that, and just working really hard for promotion, for all the, I don't know, like trivia thingies and blah blah blah. So it's finally like good to get back to this. I like have an idea to make a video a day this year. We'll see if it takes off, but like I'm working on it. You like it or not, I have to make a video, and I like okay, what do I talk about? Just randomly, like I know like when people write to me here, like I do the live streams and you chat about everything else. I look at some topics and copy paste it to my end, and I have like a big list of thingies, and I just okay, whatever works today, whatever I'm in the mood for. So yeah. I'm still like right now, I would like to be in this more, I don't know, like stable, comfortable, calmer place so that I could give you quality content. But it's been so long, and I'm like, just like trying to get things stable, so to speak. So we'll see. I don't know if I should go with just picking a topic and talking about it like as a start and then go into Q&A. We're gonna do a quick scan today. I'm gonna choose one of the audience members, and you can all write me an email, aquilasava@yahoo.com. You can look into all the videos I have in the description. There's gonna be my email and other social media platforms. My media, like my Yahoo email was pretty much like fucked up. I've had a lot of suppression. There were like a lot of third parties getting against it. So some people haven't like received their work yet. I've been like sending it out, and I'm not getting a lot of emails as well. There's been thingies where people send me things, and I find their emails in the spam box, and they disappear, and other things happens. And then I switch to Google, to Proton Mail, to other things, and same thing happens over there as well. So I'm like, fuck it, what's the bar? So there's a lot of things. But as regards quick scan, aquilasava@yahoo.com. You probably have seen the email a lot of times, I hope. But again, look at the description. And basically for the quick scan, what I need is a little bit of information about you. Be aware that when I do the live scan, quick scan, I'm gonna share some of your issues here out loud. So please tell me only the things you are comfortable for others to hear. And, the good thing, a lot of you have nicknames here. And I don't have to tell your name or anything else. It doesn't have to be details that you want to know others know about. If it's private, it's okay. But just a little bit of information, what you want me to look into, your past lives, your issues, things you're going through currently, your present time problems. Like, for example, I'm hearing voices and my head's been hurting for a very long time, specifically this location, and I'm always kind of like stuttering or whatever else is going on with you. Like a little bit of information about you. I'm not going to show it to everyone here, but I'm going to read it to myself and, out loud. But, your email and everything else won't be visible. And after that, I'm going to grab the cans. You can see the scanner and everything else. And I'm going to tell you what I see. Look into your past lives if that's a thing. Look into what's going on. And a quick scan is basically, I just look into what's up with you. And I tell you the details, some of it, and possible things that can be done about it. But it's not like, I'm gonna go fix you and everything's gonna be fine. Like, I'm just gonna okay, here's your issues, here's what's going on in the background, and here's what you can do about it. So, yeah. Okay, like, I want to say sorry to everyone, like, you're coming here expecting, like, really good quality content, and I just feel so weird, like, it's been so long, and I'm, like, still, like, okay, calm down, come on, it's been a while, like, it's 11 minutes online, like, with all, and it's still weird, but, I don't know, like, right now, if I should just pick a topic and talk about stuff, or just Q&A straight. But for me, I'll just talk about myself for a while. Fucking selfish bitch. But, I'm learning self-love. I've worked a lot with Kimberly McGeorge. Some of you have seen her on my YouTube. I've uploaded a video for a quickie, but I took it off. It's private, and it's for me only. But, boy, she's helping me. Like, I feel like my whole life, I've been trying to find someone to look up to. Like, for me, I built my own personality by looking into the beings I admired, and some of them are real, some of them are fictional. For example, if you play a video game, watch a movie, TV show, maybe an anime, and I'm like, okay, this personality, this beingness, I really admire that. I want to be like that, and I will take that personality, as in, I want to be that, and I will build myself up to being something better, something stronger. So my whole life I've been building myself up, but there's been a lot of suppressions and other things that happen. So I noticed that, like, like with all the building I was, like I would put on the mask and I would have to switch it up around other people. And like Kimberly is the person that helped me to take off all the masks and be myself. Like, hey, true beingness. Like, see for what people, like, for what I want to be seen for. Not like, okay, this is Vegeta's personality, this is this guy's personality, and this and this and this. And so I'm talking about myself, but like it's all about Kimberly. Like she's like actually the first female role model I have, because my whole life, like, I just couldn't file the female. Like Mel Robbins was a very good one, but Kimberly just went all the way up on the top, like really fast. And for me, just changed everything. Like working with her, like looking into getting a slap on the face is like, hey, be nice to yourself. Wake up, look at your things. I'm always giving all of myself to others, but zero to myself. So it's like learning about myself, the things I'm going through, and how to help myself, and being aware of certain things. And then, like even getting dogs. Like I love my dogs, but I couldn't even allow myself to take a shower because, oh, if I go to take a shower, my dog howls because he can't be away from me. And I would have to learn self-love by, he can just sit there, he won't gonna die, it's gonna be a few minutes, and I'm just gonna enjoy the hot, nice shower. And that was what I'm working with, like literally like a lot of details with self-love, with taking care of myself, a lot of past traumas, everything that happened in this life and everything else. It was a lot to handle, but I'm really glad that with everything I've been on, hey, I feel massive improvement. I feel like I don't have to minimize myself and everything else. So I'm really happy with that. Whew, thank you all for listening. I feel like, like slowly just being authentic, like that's the only thing I can be. Like, I can admire all the people, like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, and all this stuff. Like, they're all great speakers, and I'm not at their level, but I have to be like, hey, it's like, it's okay. I just have to take it and just go from this thing. So, yeah. Okay, so I'll slowly scroll up to the chat and see what you're all talking about, specifically the questions. And probably just go from there, and we'll see what happens. So, the Horny Sheet Show is saying, you can always do a quick video recording to check audio levels before going live. That's exactly what I've been doing for the last hour. Like, I've been recording with Zoom, OBS, and Skype and other, like, places, and everything gives me, like, audio feedback. Like, I can hear myself and everything's working, but I record with Streamlabs. It's a really good platform, and it's just zero. Like, if I play music, I can hear music. If I play audio, nothing, and I would just, like, mess a lot, and eventually it was, like, I had to choose a different, sound setting. Like, specifically, I was playing through my headphones, and this is actually playing through my monitor speaker, so I have all the audio muted for myself, but at least you can hear me, so it works. It works now. That's all that matters. Okay, so Chris Thor is asking, what do you think about seeing angel numbers? Angel numbers. So, for me, everything, let's say, angel numbers, horoscopes, astrology, religion, even the soul construct thing, entity removal, everything like that, for me, is a tool. And all that matters for me is that how much attention I want to put into it and how much of it I want to use for myself. Because if you really believe in something, that thing will work for you. If you believe that, if you call out to Jesus' name while entities are messing with you, he's going to help you out. And if you believe in that, it's going to happen. So same thing with numbers. Sometimes I look into it. Sometimes, let's say, I feel like it was the website of Joanna Angel Numbers. Probably that. I really can't remember the name right now. But I used to remember, like, when I was 14, 15, just as I had my first awakening of what's going on in the world and everything else, I would look into it. I would be interested in that 1111. Oh, like, it's a number of manifestations, so all your thoughts are really good for making your reality come true and everything else. But now, I don't make it significant. Like, to me, it doesn't matter because some people go too much into numbers. Like, they're having a great day, and there's a number they don't like, or a number that scares them. And you look at that, and oh, like they had a great day, but now they saw that number and they start worrying about it because oh, that number means something bad is gonna happen, and they shift their great focus on this is a great day, everything's going awesome, and something's bad's gonna happen, and now they're focused on that, and they're focusing on that thing, and their attention will find things that are bad. So for me, if I need numbers or signs that will help me out, I will use it. But only like, let's say I'm taking my dog for a walk and I'm like, should I go to see my mom or not? Like, I'm feeling like if I go back home, I can be really productive and do things. But if I visit my mom, she's going to be really happy and I'm going to support her and we're going to have conversations, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, if I see one bird, I'm going to go there. If I'm going to see two birds, I'm going to go home. One bird. Okay, yay, I'm going to go see my mom. Do. Like, so, for me, it's that. Like, if I see the number 777 or 1111 or 1313, like, cool, hey, like, that makes me feel better. Yay, but I'm not really paying attention, So, I don't really pay much attention to it, but just because I'm not into it, it doesn't mean it's not good or you people should do the same thing. What you should focus on is, if this is the tool that you like, please use it, keep using it, work on it, and make sure you are getting empowered from it. If you like seeing those numbers and it means a lot of things to you, use it. If it's not a thing for you, like, okay, just pass on, find something better. So there's that. Okay, Danny's asking, if karma is real, then why do the elites get away with all they've done to humanity? Well, that's the thing. From my perspective, karma, it is not real. It is a belief system, and specifically only pushed on Earth. Karma exists only on Earth because certain groups push it. Like, oh, look, it is a belief system. It is a belief that, whatever you do, anything that you do, any deeds and actions will give you the consequences. Like, whether it is good or bad, you're going to get the consequences based on your actions. And we believe that. A lot of people believe that on Earth. But in other planets, in other realms, and anything else, it's not there. People believe in the cause and effect, and specifically, if I done something bad and I feel bad about it, if I feel guilty, then yeah, I think I should be punished. And that belief, your sole agreement on what kind of consequences should follow after you've done something, will decide what's going to happen. Because with the elite here on Earth, a lot of them have this psychopath, sociopath mindset. They don't know what guilt is. They don't feel bad after doing certain things. And because of that, they don't feel guilty. So they don't feel like they should be punished. Like, what? I'm having fun. What's wrong with that? Hey, I'm happy. Everyone else over here is happy. The kid over there that just got raped, what the hell? And they're fine. And when they die, they're not gonna get reincarnated just because they killed someone. Nothing's bad gonna happen just because, oh, look, whatever, So for them, they're gonna be fully free. But it's all based on what they agree on. And if I feel like, okay, I believe in Jesus, and then one day I say, fuck Jesus. And then 2 days later, I feel like, oh my God, it was the biggest mistake in my life. I shouldn't have done that. Like, and then God will punish me. I should go for hell for saying that. God. And that, my agreement, my belief, and like feeling guilty, and I feel like I should suffer from that, feel like, oh man, it was the worst thing I've ever done, and I really should pay for that, that will bring me the consequences. And that's what karma is. So, again, from my perspective, karma doesn't exist for anywhere else. It's all about what's going on here with you and what you agree upon. So elites get away just because they don't feel guilty and they feel like, hey, it's fine. It's just a game for me. Like, not specifically, they might not view it as a game, but for them, they don't find themselves guilty and they don't see a single reason why they should be, why? Why should they suffer? Why should they go to hell? Why should they experience anything bad? Like, I care about myself, I put myself first, I love myself, I love the money, I love being rich, I love owning tons of things, and if they're not happy, that's their problem. And no consequences, like no karma there. So, yeah, they get away from it because they don't believe in it. That's all. Jerkass is asking, what have you seen that we should be talking about? What have I seen that we should be talking about? For me, I'm bringing it on again, but just because I see it a lot. And it's all about manifesting what you focus on. Really. And it's in everyday actions. For example, today I was working with shipping off a lot of boxes and things that I've been, selling on my electronic store and everything else. And my brother's driving. There's a lot of drivers who are clumsy, and specifically, when I'm with my brother, we met a few on the road, and whoa, so close to an accident, so close. And as we focus on it, we start seeing more and more and more and more of that happening. It's just attracting that. And while he's driving and everything else, and then he went to the store, and then we went to shipping and everything else, I was like, okay, what do I want? And I want a very nice drive, just enjoying myself, just hanging in this being in this company, talk to him, and just hey, it's all fine. And on the way home, lovely drive. Nothing bad happened at all. But because I shifted my mindset. And so, for me, everything I do in life, let's say Rich is studying Neville Goddard. And it's funny because I've been doing a lot of things naturally without ever studying it and reading it. It was just feels good doing that, kind of just feels right. And because I've been doing it a lot, let's say even attracting the person you want in your life, for me, okay, if you have a girl or a guy or someone you want in your life, it does not matter what others say. Anyone else, you have to shut up and not listen to them, because they will impact on what you're going to manifest. Law of assumption, law of manifestation, law of attraction, it's all, in one thing. But, yeah, so for me, it was it doesn't matter if they say it's impossible, you shouldn't go for it, and all this stuff. No. No. You have to back off, not listen to anyone. Because all that matters is what you focus on, what you think, what you feel, and all that. And what you do is, hey, okay, I want a person in my life. And you literally start living as if that person was with you. You're drinking water. Imagine what it's like drinking water with that person. Hey, cheers. Damn, that feel good. Just being in that company, just smiling at each other and everything else, that feels good. Same with what's going on currently in the world. You turn on the news, or you listen to people who are currently constantly listening to it, and everything else. It's always there, it's always negatives, and what you hear will manifest. But you go back, let's say I hear all the stuff, I back off, and what do I want? What do I want? All these special people who are special and healthy, have special privileges to go into a store or a mall just because they're special, that's great. But I don't have to be super healthy special with special permissions to go in there. I'm hey, I can walk in there just because I am who I am, and I like myself the way I am. And soon enough, not even weeks later, they literally start opening up certain stores. So, the ones that were saying, these unspecial, messed up people who don't like what we are saying and pushing, cannot go there anymore. And I just focus hey, I can go to that place. I can go to it. I'm shopping there. I'm literally focusing on myself. Okay, I know how the store looks like inside. And here it is. I'm going inside and I can smell the freshly baked bread. And oh, this smells nice. Oh, look, so many goodies. And I'm just looking around, and how does it feel being inside there? How does it feel standing in the line and checking out over there? And literally just a few days, not even an hour of work, 5 minutes max. And you're just the feeling state, just thinking about it. You're doing it okay, I'm walking in the store, smelling the bread, and oh look, a little chocolate. I love this thing. I'm gonna put it in my basket or cart, and do, and I pay okay, it's $5 for that. Great, bye bye, and I leave the store, and I'm just creating it all in my head. But what happens? A few days later, a few weeks later, that place opens up, that place opens up, that place opens up, and I'm seeing more and more and more of that. I'm that's cool, and then someone talks about how bad it is and how bad it's gonna get. And they're pushing it, and I'm so glad that people are fighting back. I'm so glad that, even the president is working with the people, and they're working on this mindset and, outcome that I like. You're and then this is happening. Look at people, they're finally awake. They're finally not buying that stuff. And what happens? hundreds of thousands gather up and they start writing petitions and everything else. And I'm like, hey, this is working. So literally, everything that happens around you is all what you focus on. Even if it's bad, somehow you are at cause of manifesting it. And it's like you have to own it. You have to feel responsible for it. If there's a person shouting at me and not liking my dog peeing on a bush or something, it's my fault. I focused on it too much. I thought maybe I wasn't thinking about it currently. Maybe I wasn't really focusing on it. But what happens is that there's a case. I lived let's say 10 months with my dog. He's now he's 1 year old. It's just like I got him when he was 2 months old. And okay, 10 months with my dog. So 10 months of walking around and everything else, and there's just like one experience or two experiences where that happened. But it doesn't have to be necessarily just this. Let's say your whole life you've been, I meet this person and they're drunk and they're this and they're this and they're that, and it's just gonna build up your case of how you're gonna react. And you might not think about it now, but your body feels like 7 p.m. My dad used to come back drunk, and then I would catch shit. You move away from that, but your case is there. And even if you don't think about it, even if you're not focusing about it, you're used to it. You're kind of addicted to that. You're still, in that place. And you have to work at putting your mindset on something positive. So even if you're not focusing on something bad right now, you used to. That's what you wear. Like even some people, they work on entity removal. They work on getting better. And it takes a lot of practice. But what happens is that they're used to being in a place of suffering, being in a place of something's bad going on, not feeling good enough, feeling uncomfortable, feeling fear, and they might work hours, weeks for feeling better, and it might work, but this is their out of comfort place. Their comfort place is fear, uncomfortable, I don't know, I don't like this, I feel like a loser, it's always something bad happening to me. And the moment 2 weeks later, you drop your hard work and okay, finally, feels good. And you're out of that positivity mindset. You were working and you kind of let off your guard. Boom. That case comes back. So it's a work in progress. It's a lot of not only the current, not only right now, but a lot of what you have experienced in the past. And it takes a lot of work to change it up. But boy, manifestation. If there is something to focus on, if there is something I have seen that all of you should be talking about, it's manifestation. It is creating the reality you want. It is totally possible. You are godlike being. Your imagination is the godlike power. You can do everything with it. And that's the only thing that matters. Focus on the outcome you want. Think of your future as your past. You want to have $10,000? Well, remember the day when you just got $10,000? Oh man, that was great. I felt holy cow, where did all that money come from? But it's not I have. You've already had it. It already happened in the past. And focusing on your future as your past, your wanted outcome, that great result, that great thing, it's already in the past. You already experienced that. Getting a doggy, man, the first day I got a doggy, that was awesome, and literally, you have to work at it. And the magic is in letting it go. You literally don't sit there 24/7 focusing on it. You work 5 minutes, max. You're great outcome. But what you have to do is create the scenario from A to Z. If you have heard about Joe Dispenza, the way he was rebuilding his spine, the way he would every day create a scenario where he would get out of the bed, walk around and do things, that was A to Z positive. A to Z, it happened. A to Z, it's good. If you put in, okay, my day is going great, and this, and you're just positive, and but what if it doesn't happen? You blew it. Start over. And you literally have to just create one scenario of, hey, I got this awesome car. Oh, this girl wrote back to me. I can't believe we had such a great conversation. That's it. Take a break. That's it. Don't go anymore. Literally create the scenario, your future as your past. And the story goes from the beginning until the end with the positive as if you've already had it. And that's it. And you have to let it go. Don't think about it. Don't focus on it. Because the more attention you put on it, then you will look at the reality. You will try to use your logic. You will go into your case. You will go to used to, something's bad always happens. I always lose my money. And then your case and everything else will get in the way. And everything you've been focusing on will destroy it. So we have to Focus on that scenario, our future as our past, create everything from A to Z as a positive, as if you've already had it, it was good, how did you feel, how did you think, how was your posture and everything else. You go from all the details, a few minutes, and you let it go. And you carry on with your day. It doesn't matter what you think later on, just don't try to focus on it all the time. Don't try to make it too logical, because you put too much attention on it, you're gonna blow it. So that's the biggest thing. You literally can manifest anything you want. It does not matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter. You have to shut off all the negative voices. Because if they keep talking and everything else, they're gonna mess it up. And, there's that. We have to remember that even with all the positivity, I have to say this, give yourself time to express yourself. There will be days when you try to manifest all the good stuff, but there will be days when you will feel like shit. There will be days where you work your ass off and you just fall off and everything goes negative. It's okay. Don't dwell. Don't feel guilty if you think bad and if you feel like, oh shit, like, oh man, I've been trying so hard and I'm thinking positive and, fuck me, I just can't do this. Don't blame yourself. Let it go. Express yourself. You have to give yourself, okay, I feel like shit. Give yourself time to express that. Give yourself time to just sit around, feel a bit depressed maybe, feel a bit angry, maybe express it out loud, maybe just play games, maybe do something that allows you to like have an outlet, express that, have a day or two off of like trying to manifest something, just let it all out. Okay, I woke up and I'm feeling better. Wow, okay, I think I can work on something today. And all the crap you've been through, you let it go. You don't dwell if you think bad or anything else. Don't make yourself feel guilty. We all have bad days. We have to remember that even no matter how hard you try, the game is rigged and something will get in the way. And once you let go, okay, hey, I've been targeted, something bad happened, and you just you deal with the present time problems without feeling bad about it. As in hey, feel like shit. Today's like shit. I don't want to do anything. That's okay. Feel like shit. Don't do anything. Handle this as best as you can. And next day, or day after, day or two later, once you feel better, go back to manifesting stuff. We all have bad days, and you don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay. So I just have to add, you can manifest absolutely anything, and, don't be too hard on yourself. And that is the most important thing we can all focus on right now. So, great topic. We can talk a lot about it, but yeah, if there's anything I can give you all, it's just this. So I'm going to take my time reading more of your comments and questions and move on with that. Adar is saying Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you all too. I hope everything's going on right now. You can handle things good, even if it's New Year, new you. Just choose the beingness you want to have at every day. Adar is also asking why am I so nervous? I haven't done live stream for a while, so it's making a video is probably easier. I can stop at any time, any fuck ups, I don't like it, I can just quit and stop and outtake, that's fine. But this is real me, right now, right here. Whatever happens is out there and you all see me the way it is. So, and haven't done it for a while, it's okay, how do I give that quality content to all of you and feel good about it? I just want to give the best out of me and then bye everyone, kind of thing. So, it's all about delivering the best of me, I guess. Okay, so Let's Review is asking or saying, in your last video you mentioned that we have a lot of cases of people who reincarnated against their will. How can we prevent it? So, I believe that in one of those videos, something similar to that concept is, let's say, we get in here, but because of the forced incarnation or reincarnation, some of us go through soul traps or entities and other things, and what happens is that the beingness, the pure you that gets here on Earth, is now with someone else. We have entities that have been messed up and everything else, and the way we notice it and prevent it to happen, first look at yourself. Look at how you're dealing every day. What are you doing? How do you feel? And specifically those negative sides or things you don't like about yourself, things that get in the way. For maybe okay, being nervous, being kind of like too shy while live streaming, feeling like I can't give you the quality content, that would be something I can focus on. Because like let's say half a year ago or on one of my last streams when I used to do it a whole lot more, I was feeling confident. Like I think I was feeling or doing much better. I don't know. But let's say back then I didn't have the feelings or emotions I have right now. And now I focus on like, okay, so right now, currently, the negative things or things that get in my way is this energy, is this like, I don't know, like yeah, like Sage is saying, low energy, feeling unmotivated. Exactly. So, feeling unmotivated, having low energy, or like even having the shyness and all this stuff. Okay, this is what I don't like about myself. And usually that is either some beingness, parts of the consciousness, entities, and other things that get in our space that we become. They're there, they're talking, and most of us aren't really aware of them, but we start identifying as them. They're talking, and we can perceive, we don't know it, we're telepathic, we have awesome abilities, and if there's an entity talking, you can't really hear them out loud, but telepathically you pick it up. And there's that thinking that goes on in your head 24/7 probably. And you might feel like, like, oh damn, like this video isn't like good enough. I don't think if like I'm talking and delivering the quality content, I'm talking too fast and it's getting in the way. Even like right now, like just talking too fast and like just hurrying it up, getting the message out. There's so much to say and I want to get it all done as fast. Like not necessarily finish the stream, but give so much for you, blah, 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 and I just keep on going. But this would be something to focus on. All this like negativity, the weirdness I have is like, stop. So I have to label them. Not to put like, oh, okay, there's the can of tomatoes, there's the ham, there's the spam, and everything else. You don't have to do that. You don't necessarily. But what happens, like, it helps us to identify what the problem is, and we'll deal with it. So, okay, you see the beings. Some people actually can see them. Some people can hear them. And, hey, just because, you might not be aware of it doesn't mean it's not real. So, okay, you deal with it. Like, alright, like maybe talking too fast. Any beings that talk too fast right now in my space, what seems to be the problem? And literally, you put the label on this cluster of entities, for example, that are talking too fast. And you're asking the question, from your perspective, what seems to be the problem, specifically the ones, the beingness in my space that's talking too fast. What seems to be the problem? Well, these guys, what I'm getting right now, the answer is like, they feel on the spot. Like, right now, I'm expressing myself, but it's like, it's not just me talking, anyone that's in my space, any possible entity and everything else, like, hey, they feel like now they can be seen. They feel like now they can be targeted and they feel vulnerable. So, same way people that are scared, like, okay, or like, okay, I just don't want to be seen, so I'm gonna get this done ASAP and I'll be done, and that's it. Like, oh shit, like, the more they're talking and everything else, the more they're gonna be seen and all this stuff. So, right now, this cluster is, like, literally leading. Just because, like, hey, hi, what's your problem? And they're like, well, if they keep on talking and really fast, this cluster will be more and more visible and, oh, they're gonna catch shit. So they have to leave. And boom. Quiet. I feel better, calmer. They're gone. So, it's one of the ways to deal with it. But then again, I'm just looking through the question. Cases of people who reincarnated against their will and how can we prevent it? Specifically as regard the reincarnation and how prevent people from coming back here, if that would be the better answer to the question, we have to become aware of what's going on. And that, this is not the me body, your consciousness, you're the perspective, you're the point of view that can leave at any time. And you have to understand that, this life isn't the only one, that there's much more. Like literally getting out of body or learning to consciousness shift and actually being able to see other places. They're more real than this place. Literally, more real. You will feel better. You will feel things, everything, the whole perception, like hearing, smelling, tasting, like touching things and everything else. It's better. It's much more amplified, so to speak. And even talking to other beings, oh boy, are they smart. Like, of course, depends on the place you go to. But when you have that experience where you talk to someone and literally you can bring back the knowledge and information and other things from other realms and other beings to hear, and that's like what I'm doing. For me, most of what I know and what I learn and what I'm talking about is either currently I'm working on it, or literally I talk to other beings and I bring it here. And then people, oh, I've read this in the book. Oh, I've had this teacher tell me about it. I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. I've have had the same experience and information from out of body. It's like, cool. And also, like, for me, I see that happening a lot. And literally, if you learn that there's more than here, then it's more real. And you learn that, like, hey, this is not the only place. And just awareness of that, and the awareness that you're infinite and you cannot be trapped. If you believe you can be attacked, if you believe you can be a victim and everything else, that puts you in a spot of, being a victim to the soul traps and things that can get you here back on Earth. But if you don't believe in it, like, hey, I'm infinite. I can do everything I want. I can just turn around, like, okay, let's say physical body drops dead, and then I see white light, you just turn around and you just walk away, float away, or like simply think of a place you want to be at, boom, you just manifest yourself there, no need to go anywhere else. And you're free. So no need to worry about things too much, but just like learning as much as possible, because once we drop dead, when this physical body drops dead, we don't get smarter from that point. Let's say you drop dead, and everything that you have learned here in this physical body will be the information you have over there. So learning as much as possible is like a very important thing. But once you're out, and once you go to the place where, you don't feel like you can be attacked, then you can, let's say, open up your Akashic records. Then you can focus on, like, remembering your past lives, because there won't be agreements and things that limit you. And we're here on Earth, we've gone through programming, we've gone through agreements and everything else that puts us at the place where, I can't recall my past lives. I don't remember who I was. My beingness and everything else, I just don't remember it. But once you're out of here, all the thinking and all the limits that affects this physical body will not be there anymore. Which is why it's important to just, let's say, even before dying, think of the place you want to be at once your physical body drops dead. You're just like, okay, your own pocket realm, your own private realm where no one else can get in, how would it look like? And details, you describe everything else. And then you're just like, okay, this is the place. You've created your own perfect little realm, and think of it as a default spawning place. Let's say your physical body drops dead, and this is exactly where you're gonna appear. There's like a lot of varieties, but what happens is that everything after your death is a belief system territory. If you believe you're going to hell, you're gonna go to hell. If you believe in something else, like, oh, after Earth, what's there? I don't know. And that unknown, okay, like 50-50, depends where you're gonna end up, but your beliefs that have been in the background for all the years, everything that's like, like people are talking about Jesus and heaven and everything else, will actually pay some toll in there. So you literally have to just focus on what you want after you die. You have to develop your belief systems, and everything you believe in will be there. And the best thing for that, I would just say, look into Robert Monroe, and even getting as much perspective on the subject from different people. There's what I'm talking about. And, this is my own personal belief. You don't have to believe in any of it. You don't have to buy all of it. If you listen to me and see okay, some of what she says is good, just take that. If anything else you don't agree with that's okay. Believe in what you want. You can question me as much as you want. You can say, fuck you, Aquila, this is wrong and I have my own belief system. This is really good. I'm really glad you have that. Just take it and use whatever is best for you and just go with it. But literally learning as much as possible and going with, just listen to me, for example, and what I have to say, and anyone else that has the ability to get out of body, for example, anyone else that remembers their past lives, listen to those stories and try to use your own inner lie detector, so to speak, to see if you buy that story and if it goes with your own belief system, and just that. So there, this is the best way to get away from your incarnation and being trapped here. Learn as much as possible and never come back. As in, ways to leave and find other places to be at that makes you happy. So I'm scrolling back up because there's been a lot of questions and everything else. Danny's asking if anyone has watched the Netflix show called Inside Job. I don't know, like maybe I can get a photo over here quickly. We'll see. Just gotta mark the question. Inside job. God damn. Yeah, there we go. Inside job. I have like this massive mic in front of me that sort of blocks the window. So there we go. Just a quickie. Almost there. There we go. Okay, so inside job. I'm gonna remove my camera for a bit. Inside job. Here's the little thingy, and over here, specifically inside job like this. Yeah, it's a funny cartoon, but it's like, I don't know, like satire talking about what's going on, kind of for real. It has a lot of subliminal messages in the background that you can catch. And, for jokes and lols and laughs and everything else, you can watch it. It's specifically like the New World Order or the Elite, it's like the deep state. And this is like the perspective, the people who play in there and what they're doing to control the station in the world and everything else. Like having the clones of Kennedy and everything else. It's something to watch. Don't take everything as the truth, but filter things, like through your own belief system. Like, okay, here's that, haha. And, just like, it's pretty cute, but 50-50. I haven't watched everything. Like, watched like 3 episodes, I guess. Takes a while. Andromeda is asking, how long is the live stream? I don't know. As long as I feel talking about things. As long as I feel like, like I'm giving quality content. Like, I'm probably gonna go with answering some more questions. And then we're gonna go with doing like quick scan. Again, for those that have just joined or have been recently coming in, my email is aquilasava@yahoo.com. There's my email in video descriptions and everything else. Someone might type it in the chat as well. If you want a live quick scan, I'm gonna choose someone from the public. Feel free to write me a few details about yourself, like issues and things that are going on with you right now. Like, oh, my ear hurts, or I have spine issues and I hear voices, or like I've been constantly attracting like male figures that are very like psychopathic, narcissistic, and I just can't deal with them. What the heck is going on? Like a little bit about yourself, and then I'm gonna pick one of the emails. I'm gonna look into what's going on and talk about it live. Like, let's say your past lives and other things, and we're just gonna go with that. And at the same time, share things only you are okay with, other people hearing. You're gonna be under anonymous name, or you can use your own name, whatever's good for you. But if you feel like you don't want people to know too much about you, then like I might avoid that. But if you feel like whatever, people can know about me, and it's just my anonymous name here, it's okay. All right, let's go on. And also, Gabriel and Patricia with a lot of donations. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll look into more of these questions. Sarty saying electronic harassment and the CIA is watching you. I've had a few people who've been doing the scans for me, and they're saying that three-letter agencies are onto me, like, and all the stuff. Damn, like, I haven't seen anyone following me in the physical form, but, like, with the electronics and everything else, there's a lot of, like, weird issues. So, who knows? ID's asking, is it mandatory jab in Lithuania? Let's say it's not mandatory yet, but the way they're pushing it is you cannot be functioning normally if you don't have a job. So you can't go to certain malls, you can't work, you can't have a job, and you're not gonna get services in the hospital and everything else if you are unvaccinated. So if you're not super special, super healthy, super privileged, then you're pretty much just stuck in the house and like, okay, well, live whatever way you want. So it's not mandatory, but it's kind of like can't really live without it, so to speak. So there's that. Sean Monroe is asking, is there a way to permanently gain access to your past life skill sets? Yes. Yes, there is. Specifically, I would say you recall some of your past lives, but what you do is very similar to soul fragment retrieval. For example, you look at that beingness that you've had over there, and specifically, let's say, just choose one personality that you really like. Maybe being really confident, maybe having like those, let's say, healer abilities where the psychic work you've been doing, the energy work you've been doing, really impacted people. You choose something that you can really relate to, that you really like, and start with one thing. And it starts with you literally, again, law of manifestation and everything else, try to become that. You see how you were acting in your past life, how you were doing, the abilities that you've had. You choose one. Okay, confidence. Confidence. I'm really confident being. And again, okay, so this is the part of me. And what you do, you can communicate with that part of you. Hey, Lucas, for example, you are really good at like being confident, and I love this. And this is like, you're my other aspect. I really like that. And you can either think of from the perspective of you and that beingness sort of blending or becoming that, or literally, just like in the Matrix movie, Neo gets this little wire and then they program the information and he learns a skill set. So literally imagine downloading the skill set, downloading and like having it. Like, okay, that confidence, you just got that information downloaded and now it's you. But it's not like, okay, now I'm confident and I'm not seeing it. What the fuck? It's not gonna work. You literally have to work at being confident. It's like, okay, well, that part of is confident, and like, let's say, confident at talking to girls, confident at going outside, confident at being in front of the camera, talking to public, making videos, and anything else that makes you feel confident. And it's not just like, okay, I should get it, and where is it, and I'm not seeing it, so it's not working, and what the fuck? You're like, no. So a confident person, confident beingness, would talk slower. It would be more assertive. It would talk clearer, it would pronunciate things better. And you literally start acting as if you're that. Okay, how would a confident person, like, what's the posture? Okay, well, I would have my, like, head a bit above. Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, more beingness, there's more energy. It's not like this, it's more like spread out. It's like, okay, shoulders back and everything else. Like simple, like thing as like Tony Robbins and the posture of what would that beingness feel like. And literally that. You do that, you act as if you're confident, and you practice it. And again, you have to do things that a confident person wouldn't do. Would a confident person stutter? No. But you know that the confident person wouldn't do that. And literally, you have to do things you are aware that the confident person wouldn't do. If you're playing tennis and you shouldn't hit like that, you hit it on purpose so that you would understand what is it you do that's wrong or what shouldn't be in there. And once you are aware of those actions, you're like, oh, no, that's not the beingness. You go back to practicing something better. So that would be it from my perspective. Unplug the Matrix is asking, have you fought any negative entities lately? I frequently have to run them out of my house. So, me and fighting, I'm kind of, I don't know, like, I only use fighting when it feels necessary, when it feels like, they're not gonna get otherwise, and that would be right way to go, or if they piss me off. And however you handle that for yourself is your way, and that's really good. I'm going more of diplomatic perspective, talking to them and understanding why is it they're here, why is it they're messing with me. Because once I do that, I learned that most of them, 90% of entities messing with us, don't want to do it. They're here against their own free will, like most of us here on Earth. And by that, okay, like, well, why are you here? Well, my boss, I shouldn't talk about him, say that I have to mess with you, otherwise he's gonna kill my family, and I can't do that. And all of a sudden, they're really secretive. Sometimes they don't want to talk about things, because if they say a word, like, it's kind of like, my lips are sealed. If you talk about shit, it's like breaking an oath and you're gonna be killed. Or all the, let's say, your family, your relatives, or, they're gonna be in the soul shop again for thousands of years and they don't want to do that. So of course they're gonna listen to someone above them who has the power. It's just they're scared. So literally, like, becoming, I don't know, like a life coach, an auditor, and just being there for them and understanding that, hey, if you find someone who's above these entities, for example, you just deal with that personality. You just deal with that beingness. And eventually, Some of us might think about entities, some of us might want to take full responsibility. If you're going full responsibility, everything that you're experiencing it like in life, it's your own cause. You are creating absolutely everything. You are that entity, so to speak. You are that negativity. You are that bad experience. You are all the NPCs and everything else in this multiverse. It's all you. That's how deep it goes. And it's kind of weird to buy, but you literally would have to like, okay, it's another part of me, like my consciousness, splitting aspects, trying to play the game. It's like you're being the developer of a game and you're just creating tons of characters, tons of little thingies, and you have to test each and every single thing, see how it works separately, and then connecting them all together. Altogether, one program, you've created it all in the first place, but then secretly, that little perspective wouldn't have any idea about the other thing, like a grass would not know about the tree or what it thinks, but if you connect it, then yeah, it's all you eventually. So if you're not buying entities, then it's all your own creation, and it really depends how deep you want to go. It really depends how deep you want to go. So by that, unplug the matrix. For me, fighting entities, it only goes as a very, I don't know, last tool, last measurement, because even the whole, let's say, triple letter agencies and secret space program and everything else, it's all me. And me playing the big O game, just fucking myself over. Do I want that? Like, okay, well, if I was a AAA agency and everything else, then from that perspective, what seems to be the problem? From that perspective, what is your goal? Why are you doing this? And you literally have to, this sort of the, Gary knows the word, but it's kind of like you put something together and then pull it all out, like part by part. So right now you're in the part where you created everything and you became just one little gear out of the massive mechanism, and you literally have to reverse engineer it. That would be the word, and you have to reverse engineer it of how you done it all. You just have to go back into taking more effort, to taking more, okay, my responsibility. I did it all. Like, in even that secret space program and even that entity that's bothering me, it's all me anyway. And from that perspective, let's say you literally work, okay, the perspective of this personality and beingness here. Oh, I am the victim. Oh, it hurts. Oh, this happens. And this entity, another me, that's messing with this physical body, from that perspective, what's your goal? Why are you doing this? And you just like talk about it and hear the perspective and point of view of that beingness, and you understand that, oh, well, this part was necessarily created like just to piss you off, and kind of like some people need that kick in the ass before they move forward. So I am that entity that should kick you in the ass once in a while, so that eventually you would realize that you can do something better. And really, how big you want to play this game. You literally have to look at, it's all you, if you want to be responsible for everything in your life. And you are, and then you can change absolutely anything, you can create absolutely everything. If you're looking from the perspective of the victim, and let's say I'm being attacked, and this beingness, da-da-da-da-da, then you have to do a lot of work from, okay, backspace. But the thing is, from my perspective, a lot of people can't handle taking too much responsibility, or that whole point of view is too big and out of their belief system territory, out of their reality, so they cannot buy being everything, and they only go with, no, I am attacked. And I actually see this entity. So what? Am I stupid? Am I fucking crazy? No, I'm not. And, then you go with like, yeah, you see entities and that's okay. And you deal with it. But any kind of work that you do for yourself, any kind of shadow work is good. It doesn't matter if you're playing the super, super duper big game or big game as you're dealing with things and you're just trying to help this aspect out. If you're doing any kind of work, that's already, kudos to you. It's admirable, and just keep on going, just do what you do. Like, every single bit that you do for yourself to get better, that's very important, So anything you're doing, whether it's like big or small steps, everything is important. So there. Just Megan is asking, are you okay in Lithuania with all the mandates? Personally, I am. I'm actually focusing on things I want to create, and I have a lot of freedom, and at certain places I use certain people to get things. So I'm just I'm actually really good. Anything that's going on here is not affecting me too much, and I'm yeah, I'm good. Very happy with where I am actually. So there. there's a lot of questions, and I don't know how long I want to go with Q&A. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna focus everything you people been talking about for myself, and what I'm gonna do is look through my emails, see if any of you wrote me. Oh wow, there's actually a few people that did. Good. Okay, I'm saving the chat over here for myself for the future with all the good questions and ideas for the videos, and we're gonna do a live scan, I think. I'm gonna switch gears. There's a lot of people watching, so I want to make sure you get what you came here for, and I believe it's a quick scan. And then we can, you know, if you get what you want, then we can go into more Q&A and stuff like that. A little water for breathing and just relaxing and all this stuff. And I am looking at emails. Also, Linus of Gaia. Can you see this? I have messaged you and Rich for over a year for my paid session. Linus, yeah, I know you have a session. I'm just gonna like see. Please write me an email. Linus of Gaia, please write me an email. Again, to see if it's coming true, because I'm looking through my Yahoo with your name and everything else, and it's not popping up. So it's either in spams or I don't have it, but I know you have a session. I'm keeping it in mind, and there's been a lot of suppression with that. JJ, also thank you for the donation, means a lot. Okay, so right now I'm gonna look through emails. Just pick one. Again, as you know, your email is gonna be read out loud, some of it, and then I'm gonna do the live quick scan and just tell you what I'm seeing. Alright, so I have one email I'm looking at. Okay, hey. That was the wrong time to bark. Wrong time to bark. Puppy. Hi. And there the other comes. Alright, always, third parties. Anyway, yeah, Reddit. I'm gonna check Reddit quickly. I just want to make sure I respond to you and you are acknowledged and we can communicate so that I could give you your session. Just a second. Please write me again on Reddit, cause I'm not seeing it. I'm not sure if we talked there before, but I'm not really seeing it. Also, you can try my Facebook if you have Facebook, Discord, or Instagram. I gave one of my viewers a session on Instagram, so yeah. Please write me, and I can write to you as well. Yeah, email's like fucked up, man, with all these things. But let's try to get in a zone. And the thing with these sessions and quick scans and all this stuff, I have to be in that place, because when I'm experiencing things, it's not like, oh yeah, I've just seen it so I can tell you all about it. I'm literally there. And I can become you and experience things from your perspective. So if you're being, gutted, I'm in your body and I'm feeling everything. And if you're being raped, I'm in your body and I'm feeling everything. And there's just so much. And, of course I can pull myself out and view everything like 360, 180 and everything else. So there's that. But. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna turn on the little meter. Make sure you're seeing what I'm looking at. Theta meter. Okay, boom. Okay, we have this little theta meter. So I'm gonna start it now. Holding the cans. Rich wouldn't explain it better, but it's basically just connecting to my energy. When it goes to the right side, over here where my mouse is, it is looking at the truth and the things I can confront when it goes to the left side, I'm still looking for what it is. So like, like it's just gonna look at your ability to be able to confront as much as possible. And then, we're gonna see, we'll see. So I'm starting right now. I'm gonna read through the email and we're gonna go from there. Where the fuck is my mouse? There it is. All right. Okay, so this person wants to find out his soul origins or ancestry in regards to the star family, and was wondering if there are any methods I use. And so, in regards of the information pertaining to the quick scan, he's a 37, Taurus, lives in Halifax, NS, the only child. He doesn't feel that he's human. He's very talented in arts, music, painting, creating all sorts of things. But he seems to suffer from an overactive libido, and I was wondering if that is an attachment or is it related to the programming. Not sure what else is needed. I guess I'm looking for someone with your abilities to be able to see what I am, soul origins wise, and to maybe assess my feel and see what kind of attributes may be keeping me down, locked up. I know I am a creator being outside all of the noise, but on a soul level, it would be nice to know what I was before coming here, or if I was just human. Either way, it's not determined, but for me, it's a question I've had all my life, and hopefully able to find some sort of answer. You've helped a friend of mine discover that he was a Lyran, and I helped a lot for him, and it helped a lot for him to assess his life and what things mean to him. So I guess I was hoping to figure out externally if possible. Right, so, first things, Christopher. Right now, I'm just connecting to your beingness and who you are. Sort of my consciousness drifts to you. When I'm looking at people, sometimes I see them just as, let's say, energy figures. So let's say think of an outline of a human body, and then I'm connecting to your essence, to your presence of, your consciousness, and then I can access your Akashic records, see what you have experienced in the past, and just see all about you. So, alright, what about you? So first thing that pops out is that you've been somewhat involved in a soul trap. It's like one part of you, or before coming here on Earth, somewhat close to forced incarnation, but not specifically just dropped here. When I'm doing these scans, I'm getting a lot of images. So for me to put it in the words and explain it to you all so that you would understand, I take time and I write things down, and quick scans are very easy. But in a way of explaining what I'm seeing, it's oh well, there's just tons of images going right like this. So I'm gonna take my time looking into, let's say, general concepts, and then just looking at the whole story throughout and all this stuff. I'm getting a lot of reads on the Pleiadian, before coming here on Earth, being a Pleiadian, connecting to them. There's some healing work, but more through being an engineer. And let's say creating technology that would store people's energy. So let's say energy, thoughts, beingness. You can literally, same way people program crystals, is you would create technology. And again, they're very much like pillars of light. If anyone of you here on Earth seen pictures of, let's say, a city, and then there's this pillar of light, it's something close to that concept, but this would be sort of I don't know, more on a physical level. Let's say you can actually touch it, it's a physical pillar, not just the energy, not just the light. It's more of a physical thing. Has somewhat of a crystal shape, but it's using other kind of minerals, so not specifically just the crystal. But over there, it's kind of you touch it, and the same way we program water, let's say you talked, and the vibration, the frequency just goes in, so you connect to it, and that positivity you have, just think of that high frequency, love and creation, and feeling good and healing, and you can literally, again, as with manifestation, create a whole story of this pillar will work for helping with your spine, or let's say helping with your possible cancer or various diseases, it would be specifically for one thing. For example, like breast cancer or prostate cancer, or for example, like having a flu, having a cold, and there's like a variety. But these pillars, like it's kind of like being in a library and walking through it, and you touch this thing and you connect to the beingness, and literally any person can write the program. It's like I remember in the Andromeda there's this crystal place I found where you just pick up the crystal and you put your programming. You can like put like getting out of body, or like whatever else. And so like it's very similar, but it's more like pillars. And with the Pleiadians, it's kind of like, I don't know, like being on this tower. It's like, okay, so how to explain it? There's this pillar, but like similar to concrete, well, or like some sort of like a physical material that goes up, and there's this, let's say, more like a discus. So let's say think of like just a tower figure with more of a disc, and inside there's like a room that's more like never ending, but it goes and like in various, like it's another realm out there, and that's where the pillars are creating. It's like inside pocket, or let's say their own library, place of programming, place of healing, doing the energy work for others, where anyone that has a program of how they're going to help someone is going to come in, and they're going to touch this pillar and program, like let's say, okay, connecting to your body, seeing all your cells, seeing this and seeing that, and like you will see everything throughout. You have the perfect visuals, and then you write the program. Okay, so starting with cleaning the energy, just like scanning your body, cleaning any negatives, cleaning, like let's say there's density, meridians being closed, your chakras being closed, and just like cleans everything. Like let's say there's this program that sort of like, as water goes and connects with everything, you just kind of like connect with every single energy channel in your body, for example, and you just drop a lot of energy and just clean it. So you open up, like the meridians and everything else, and then literally step after step, whatever you program, you write you write what you want in there. And so like people would be using it for healing and helping out others, specifically with physical bodies or planets. For example, if the planet is being attacked or it has gone under the, let's say, asteroid crash, or like comets, or like being taken over and everything else, then you go into that place and like, okay, so baddies, specifically reptilians, came onto the planet, harvested everything they can, and now it's a desert, or like it's post-apocalyptic kind of world, and they left because there's nothing in there anymore. And this planet is just like hurt. But the planet is actually a live being that has been harvested as can be. So you look at that planet and you create this, like take this pillar and specifically, okay, this planet or any planet that's gone under these circumstances, and you write a program of, okay, boom, atmosphere changes, like there's a lot of like greenery coming back, a lot of like, let's say, waters and energy and everything else, and that switches. And you just like see like anything that you want in there, and that was your job. So you, the guy that's getting a scan, you're basically were one of the engineers that created the whole program of like that, let's say, pocket, or I don't know, like private reality, where you can like create the like choose the pillar and use your program of what kind of work you want to be done. And that was it. But for that, you got a lot of backlash, but not specifically from Pleiadians. It's Galactic Federation of Light. That was like they've got what you're doing, and they didn't like it at all. It's like, hey, this guy is changing too much. So it's kind of like going through their court system and laws, and like making sure like, oh, this black asshole is doing too much, so we have to make it illegal to use. It's not right. People should use their own imagination, and people should use their own creativity, and you can't get help from abroad, specifically like, let's say, if you're gonna help Earth. Oh, what you're doing over there as a Pleiadian is illegal, and you cannot help others because it breaks all the cosmic universal laws of people being able to ascend by themselves, so you need to do it yourself, and you cannot help anyone else. So like there's a lot of like Galactic Federation of Light bullshit where they're gonna make sure people on the planet don't get the help they need, and that was what got you somewhat what how to say it. It's like being the creator of Nobel Prize, like, hey, dynamite, and then it's a weapon of mass destruction. Shit. So it's kind of like getting the same kind of view on this is such a great thing, like as a Pleiadian see it, as those that do the healing work, as those that do the, like helping to others, but from the Galactic Federation of Light, and then spreading the news of, you're the terrorist, you're the bad guy, you're just trying to find a workaround for others, and no, you shouldn't do that ever. So, they spread this kind of like, how to say it, propaganda, and making sure that beings in the multiverse see you as a baddie. Like, you fucked it up. You just tried to cheat. and you shouldn't do that. You know, if a person is supposed to finish the school, you don't just write them the fake diploma if they finish the school. You can't do that. And so this is pretty much like as a metaphor. I'm bad at that, but pretty much like of how they fucked you over, and by that they had their own troops coming over. It's kind of like even being the Pleiadian and having the handcuffs on you and being like leaded to like, okay, let's go to a round room, we're gonna get you into the, you know, like galactic prison and make sure you get the punishment you should, like, you know, like you've gone through. So yeah, there's like a lot of that going on in the background. Specifically looking at the soul trap and what happened to you, a lot of past life rewriting. Like they want to make sure that the image you get of yourself is like limiting. So, for example, you know, you were this greater being, you've done something grand, you're there to help others, and they're like, no, 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 you shouldn't view yourself as a godlike being who's there to help. You shouldn't know that you're like a healer, an engineer, and everything else. Oh, you're actually like you're a bad person. And they're gonna put a lot of fake lives, and fake life, I don't know, like the best explanation I can give right now would be, think of watching a movie. Like one blink is a lifetime, and literally you live at least 100 years, and in that 100 years you're gonna live like as if it's really happening to you, as if it's like the thing, as if you're there. So same way you put VR glasses and you're in another reality, but you can experience everything you see, touch, smell, and everything else is your reality. It's your, like, it's true, it's there. And there's like a lot of torture with, oh well, you're a bad like person, there's like being a criminal, you know, like stealing things, like being a thief, and then getting a lot of backlash from like society again, like, oh, you're a bad person, you've done too much. It's the same way people are hating Bill Gates, so to speak. So the same way they're pushing that fake, it's like, you're the bad person, you've done something really bad and you shouldn't even dare to express yourself. So there's like a lot of like programming coming in the past lives that create this limit of, let's say you hit this part of where you want to express yourself, where you want to do something grand, and there's gonna be distractions in life as a rule, like something's always gonna happen to make you go sideways, or something's always coming in the way where you can't do it, the creator's block, for example, other things, there's that. Also going with, like, again, creating this image of a bad person, so, you know, being a rapist, being a pedophile is a lot there. And again, your physical body might pick it up, as in like relating, this is who I was in the past and this is how I'm gonna act in current, and this might like affect your physical body in that way. Like, what else am I seeing? It's gonna, I don't like, there's so much I see and it takes a lot of time to put it in words and try to make sense to you all. But yeah, let's see what else. Seems that like how to say it. So timelines, beings that work on like affecting timelines and changing how things are, the reality, the events, and everything else. There's a lot of that, but specifically those that guard the timeline changes so that one, like the good side or the bad side, couldn't use it too much on their benefits and would sort of remain in the status quo. Using that, bad guys have insiders or someone, let's say, either buying out the being or they have someone of their own in there, and it's kind of like having this bad cop that, you know, shouldn't have been there that night, but it was there and now you're caught, so to speak. But it's not like you're doing anything bad, but if you would like try to change anything for yourself, there's like a lot of like being watched and made sure you can't make too much progress in life. So with that, they're pretty much going into, hey, you know, like every time you try to do something more in life, there's gonna be a limit. There's gonna be, make sure like you can't achieve too much. There's a limit on how much you can be. So even that, like, you know, using your physical body as much as possible is not allowed. You're using your own creativity, your imagination, your knowledge is not allowed to fully access that. And at the same time, just like if you try to do things for yourself to get better, it's like either being blocked or, I'm like, how should I explain it? You try to work on yourself and you don't see results. Like no matter what you do or most of the things you do for yourself, there's not too many wins in life. And that's because like this group is making sure that even if you have good guys or people from your past lives, the Pleiadians, your soul family, like trying to be there to help you out, there's a blockage. It's like there's a rule. It reverses the work you're doing. And it's pretty much like making sure you can't get anywhere in life. So this would be just like a quickie. I probably could go even longer, but I think for now this might make some sense, hopefully. But yeah, that would be pretty much the session. That would be like, let's say, an example of how it works. And hopefully some of you can sort of like, I don't know, make some sense out of what I've said. There's a lot of that going on, but that's how I do it. So yeah. So these things is going on, like just like it's interesting to see that I don't know, like Crystal Place I've seen before, where we can program things or deprogram things, because there's like a lot of third parties using it against us, and now there's more like a pillar used to help us out. That's pretty amazing, and it makes sense that like, hey, third parties making sure we can't get it all. Galactic Federation of Light, of course, us always suppressing things, putting it against us. But again, like the game is rigged. The game is rigged, and it's always going against us. So, as regards the session, as regards into looking, like, okay, everything you've been through, all the crap that has happened. I'm still, like, trying to, right now, more, like, plug out of your life and making sure, like, okay, like, everything that has happened, everything that I've seen, I have to come back here, come back to who I am, come back to my consciousness fully, and then, how can I help you, like, with all the stuff that you've been through, how can I help you? So, let's see. First things first, if I was you, what I would do is communicate to the beings. For example, start with directing your consciousness as if you had this microphone, as if you've had the radio channel that would reach everyone else in the multiverse. And what you do is like, please listen. I am this person, and you might know me as a being who created the pillars that can be programmed to help others. I was the one that connected to Earth and other realities and tried to change it. And from Federation, like of the Galactic Federation of Light, you have heard that I've been trying to find a quicker way for people to, let's say, cheat and get something faster than they should. They didn't get their, let's say, lessons. And from my perspective, everything they said is a crap, because what I've been trying to do is, like fix the suppression. There's a lot of planets that have been attacked, and no one is fighting this, let's say, domination and chaos. And here I was using Pleiadians as a group who were actually trying to do something good. And, like then something like anyone that has gotten any help from me, like please vouch for me. Please tell me that everything you've experienced was actually help, because like I was there for you. So like literally you would have to communicate your message. You would have to tell beings what's going on from your perspective. A technique like how Ho'oponopono would work with like everyone. Please, like I'm sorry for trying to cheat, or like like I wouldn't even put it that way. The better way to say it, I'm sorry for trying to help beings. I'm sorry for trying to be there and working for the good side, and forgive me that most of you cannot understand, like the help. Most of you cannot perceive being free and independent. I'm sorry that most of you are, buying into the Galactic Federation of Light bullshit, and please forgive me for being smart and good, and, like, hey, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for, actually letting me see that I am above you, that I'm not following rules, that I'm not a being, and, hey, I love you all. The Ho'oponopono technique can go in like lots of ways. Please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. 4 commands you need to say, but you can put in your own text. And in this all, my point of view would be everyone that's listening to the Galactic Federation of Light is everyone that's pretty much taking a jab. And they're buying into the story without knowing the full picture. And literally, you could, let's say, understanding what happened, try to show them the image, the understanding of, look, this planet was fucked up, and as a group, as Pleiadians, we actually helped them out. These people were sick. and we gave them a way out. And you were one of them using this kind of help. On Earth, people are being messed with, and we created a way to give them knowledge and information so that they would wake up, so that they would take responsibility, so that they would get out of there, and no one else should suffer. And the thing is, the Galactic Federation of Flight will pitch their message, and it's just like trying to be this powerful, dominant beingness, a group, corporation, and just pitch the reality so that everyone else would buy it. If you're not going with them, then you're pretty much the enemy and they're gonna fuck you up. And if you go communicating and showing them what happened, a lot of beings will actually understand that. And the point of view of you, who you are as a being, and that whole cheating thing wasn't actually a thing. And it's kind of like first they see you as a villain, first they see you as doing something really bad, and you end up being a hero because eventually they're like, oh, this was the person that actually switched everything. And you give the power to other beings to actually, hey, I was buying into that shit and I shouldn't. I actually should support beings that want to be free, that want to be independent, that want to be responsible. I should join the good side. And it's no longer following the Galactic Federation of Flight. I am joining into, my goal. So literally, a lot of ways to deal with this, but communicating with beings out there is important because a lot of them might view you as the enemy. And if you tell them who you are, if they get your perspective, a lot of them will listen. Then they're like, oh shit, we can actually join the fight. And there's going to be more things going on out there, and you switch your image. So there's that. As parts of your programming, fake past lives and everything else, anything that's getting in your way, I would go with realizing that some of it wasn't true. As in, look at the things that are suppressing you and getting in the way most, and that is no longer you. Whatever happened there, true or not, it doesn't matter anymore, and you start creating like your beingness, as in like focusing, okay, every day, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I can do everything I want, I'm very creative, I can use my arts, and I'm winning with it, people love my work, and you just focus on your beingness. But again, if you focus on the false and negativities, you're gonna shift into reality where things are not that good. But again, if you focus on, hey, I'm winning, things are good, then you're focusing on the other thing, and you're gonna like shift into various realities, but working more on shifting on the positive would be better. And so much more we could go on, like really deep, but just as a quickie, I hope it sort of gives you some value and some information. So that's the work I do. That's there's so much to learn. Like, every one of you can do this thing, and I would start with learning to use your visuals. If some of you have visuals, at least about 4 or 5, where you can sort of think of something and imagine it, have it in front of you, for example, like eyes closed and you see the picture, and if you can maintain it for a few seconds, you can do this kind of thing. If you don't have visuals, your thinking will work. You have this knowledge where sometimes you just know things. You don't necessarily need to read about it, or you've heard it the first time and you know it is true, or you know it is not true. You can do it all. So based on that, I would like, okay, so let's say I have visuals and I'm focusing on what I want, and maybe like, okay, anything positive or negative. Positive, I want to get better in life. I want to connect to my past lives or beingness I've had that was really creative. For example, that musician, the artsy person, that the part of me that actually was really into art and so good at it. And you just have this like image, okay, so that creator in me that was here before coming on Earth, that really creative being, that was, the drawing, the painting, and literally I would just view myself as, you have this brush, and in this massive weight of nothingness, you move your brush with colors, and it's like you're painting planets or realms into it. And just with one sweep, you can literally create hundreds of realms and planets. And, it can be fully designed and detailed. You don't have to, point every single, little dot in there, but it's just going to be all over the place. And it's going to be, vast. And that alone, and that, just one brush, and there's so much creation into that, so much life, power, you just focus on that beingness and you see who you were. Or let's say, okay, you don't have visuals and you just focus on your strong side. For example, I'm really good at fixing cars. I'm so good at fixing cars. I love fixing cars. That's my only best thing, and I love it. And who I was, last time before Earth, where was I fixing something like cars? And literally you just get this information, this kind of thought, this kind of knowledge of, hey, you were actually engineer or architect and you were into construction and you were, creating spaceships and you're not seeing anything probably, but you just get this thought, I was creating spaceships. You've had this question, you have this focus, and there's a little answer out there. I was creating spaceships. And you just go with that, like, awesome, I was creating spaceships. Okay, what kind of spaceships I was creating? And like, like fighters, like the ones, like small ones, and they're into fighting, and you just get, like, literally, you ask yourself the question, and you get the answer. And don't question yourself. Let's say the first answer you get, go with that, because the more you focus and the more you question it, as in, like, is it true? Is it really the thing? Then you're just taking away your creator powers. You're taking away your ability to remember past lives. As a consciousness, you can access absolutely everything. You don't need a permission. You don't need super duper skills. You have a focus. Okay. You choose, like, being loving. I love everything. I love dogs. I love animals. And who was I before coming to Earth that was, like, that had this super loving beingness? And you allow yourself this space and time. You ask this question and try to be more specific. As in, like, who was I before coming here on Earth? You're gonna get so much. So it's not gonna be the best way. But, like, let's say last time I was super loving before coming here on Earth. And you just focus on that beingness and how good it felt. And what you get is this loving, let's say, I don't know, like, how to call it. It's not greater self, but it's just, like, literally energy. It's just energy throughout the multiverse that was giving this life to everyone else, that was giving this love and the feel good to everyone else. And you're not really touchable, it's just the beingness across the multiverse. And it just feels so good. And you're just showering in that, and you give it to others. And that's what you get. So whether you see it or not, it is the feeling, it is the knowledge, the thought answer you get, or let's say visuals. Like, we can perceive it in lots of ways, but the thing is, what I'm doing right now, these quick scans, these, like, remembering past lives, the visuals and everything else, every one of you can do it. It's not something super special. All of you can do it. It's just literally practicing. It's like a muscle. You give yourself time, you practice, you have a variety. Like, the way I say it, it's not the only way to do it. It's probably like, okay, it's 1 out of a billion ways to do it, at least. And you're just like, okay, you try this, you try that, and you just, experiment, see what works for you. But don't doubt yourself. Like, give yourself that space into, okay, I'm okay. Like, last soul family, like, last group of beings I was with before coming here on Earth. And you're gonna get the answer. And you can just, like, flow with what you get. And the thing is about soul families, for example, your name or your soul name or, like, races that you have been with. We have lived for so long that we literally have been with everyone. And what we recall and feel stronger connection with is the group we have spent more time with, the group we can relate to more as a beingness. For example, you might have been with reptilians for a few days, just to see how intelligent they are and how they think and see their technology. And like, okay, that's nice, bye everyone. You don't necessarily go into killing or abducting or being bad, but you just understand what it feels like being in a reptilian body. And then you go on into being with Lurens, the cat-like feline beings, and like, you can teleport and you can help, and you like that better. And then you go with Pleiadians, and then you go with Mantis, and then you go with humans, and you have so many lives out there that once you're here and you try to recall who were you before coming here, you've been everything. But you will remember the experience that stood out the most. It's like being here on Earth, and throughout your whole life, you've had this wonderful experience. It was just like, let's say for me, I watched this documentary and I really liked the Sequoia Park. It was like, Sequoia Park, like, damn, like, I'm in Lithuania, it's 6,000 miles away from me, but I would love to be near the tree. And it happened. And I remember, like, being in the Sequoia forest and how nice it smells, the trees, and how it feels, the energy. I loved it so much that right now, if I focus on it and, like, positive experiences here on Earth, that would be one that would pop up, one out of the many. So if you were to focus on past lives, your soul family, and everything else, the ones that stood out the most, because you could relate to it, because it made you feel good, because you liked it, will pop up. And it's one out of the many. So, give yourself freedom, explore. Every day you're gonna get more answers. They might be different, but you can like look at one story of like, okay, maybe you were an engineer, maybe you were an energy worker, and you get a little bit of answer every day, and you can just focus on that beingness. Okay, a part of me with Pleiadians that was, working on like energy worker or engineer or warrior, and you get little answers every day, and you try to focus and be more specific. As in, like, well, be more specific. So, like, you're not gonna go into new subjects. Maybe you just want to focusing on the part of you that was helping out others, and you're like, okay, this beingness of me, that's really good at communicating to others. What was it doing? What did it look like? And little by little, you get answers. You might get visuals, you might get thoughts, you might get this knowledge, you might get emotion, you might just have this idea and just go with that. And the more you focus on that specific experience, the more you ask the questions. So, for example, focus on, let's say being that engineer or fixing your plane, and, let's say fixing that plane. When did it happen? Oh, it happened when, I just had a drink. It happened like 5,000 years ago. It happened when I just had a conversation with the captain, and there can be many like incidents of how it happened and when it happened. And then you go into how long did the thing last? Oh, it was like 20 minutes. It was a few seconds, like I just used my consciousness and I manifested this thing, and like it's really easy. And what you can experience out there once you get out of it, it can be so broad, limitless. And you just go with like focusing on the details of that specific life. It's that specific, let's say you don't even go from the birth until the death. You just go until, let's say, okay, that part of you fixing the plane, just that part of you having a kiss with that girl, hugging that guy, finally meeting the love of your life, your twin flame, your soul flame, that being that you can so relate to, having the incident of, or let's say, cooking pancakes. Oh man, those pancakes I was cooking, they had these like weird purple mushrooms, but they're so sweet, and oh man, it's just like jam, and like I love it. And you just focus on the detail, and you literally, how long did that specific part last? And the longer you can hold the image or a thought, the deeper you can go into that life. And again, you're being specific, not who I was in the past life, but then focusing on the details. And when you're in that life, you focus on a little detail at a time. Fixing that plane, eating that pancake. And what happened after I ate the pancake? Oh, look, this person came over. Oh, look, I just finished fixing the plane, and I got in and I started flying. And you go into that incident and just continue either looking forward or back, but it gives you more freedom of either forwarding the experience or like sort of rewinding it and seeing what happened previously. But you can literally go rewind, and now you've got 5 days of experience, and then you go forward all the way until 7 days later you got the whole week of experience. And that gives you an idea of who you were in the past, what did you do, how did you feel out there, what happened, all this stuff. So there's a lot, but recalling our past lives, using this ability, everyone can do it. So there. Tasaria, thank you for watching, and night. I hope you get a lot of rest. So, with all this, I think it's a good place to wrap it up. It's been a good conversation. I would say by myself, but a lot of you are chatting with me, and actually, again, if it wasn't for you people, I wouldn't be here. I'm really glad that, again, a lot of you are supporting me, and you're here to share your beliefs and ask me questions and just give me an ability and a chance to express myself and share, like, have me share what I know and what I've seen and experienced, and like everything you're doing for me is like really appreciated. So, hey, hopefully you got something out of it. I think I'll be getting back to doing more live streams and trying to give you more quality content. This video, this stream I've had, I've recorded it, so I'm gonna chop it up, specifically Q&As and the parts that people might like better. I'm probably gonna upload it as separate videos. And hey, everyone, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me a chance to do a live quick scan. A lot of you wrote back, so I'm definitely gonna look at your emails and get back to you. Lionless, I'll make sure I get back to you. I'll look through my social media. Please, write me, and we'll find a way to contact, and I'll make sure you get your session. Everyone, thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.